Pirates. We think of adventure, treasure maps, exotic islands, and barrels of rum. We sing sea shanties, we dress up like them. But what if I told you being a pirate was more like rotting teeth, amputation, starvation, and a noose? This is the story behind the fantasy. Why being a pirate in the so-called Golden Age of Piracy was absolutely, unquestionably, miserable.
The image is iconic, a pirate in a feathered hat, flowing coat, and gold rings. But in reality, most pirates were filthy, lice-ridden men in torn linen rags. They often went barefoot to avoid slipping on wet decks. Showers didn't exist, neither did clean water. You lived in your own filth, shoulder to shoulder with dozens of sweating, unwashed men, for weeks or months at a time. Their food, a mix of rock-hard biscuits crawling with weevils, salted meat so old it turned gray, and water so foul it could make you vomit. One pirate wrote that even rats were considered a delicacy after a few weeks at sea. And the rum, often mixed with gunpowder. You were either drunk, sick, or both, constantly.
Freedom is the word most associated with piracy. No masters, no kings. But real pirate ships had strict rules and brutal consequences. Pirate codes outlined everything: how loot was divided, how fights were settled, who got punished, and how. Disobey the captain? You could be whipped with a cat-o'-nine-tails, have your ears sliced off, or worse, be marooned on a sandbar with a pistol and one shot. Some pirates, like Bartholomew Roberts, ran their ships like military regimes. You didn't just set sail and vibe, you followed orders, or died. Forget the fencing duels and cannonball battles Hollywood shows you. Pirate combat was savage, close, fast, and bloody. Ships rammed each other, grappling hooks flew. Pirates stormed decks wielding axes, cutlasses, and pistols that misfired half the time. Blood drenched the planks. Fingers were hacked off for rings. You didn't fight to win. You fought to survive. And if you lost, torture or death. Some pirates burned captives alive, others flayed them. Mercy wasn't part of the job description. Disease and injury were constant companions. You could die from a splinter if it got infected. Scurvy, caused by lack of vitamin C, made your gums rot and your teeth fall out. Wounds festered. Legs were amputated without anesthetic, using a saw and a belt to bite down on. A doctor might be the ship's cook with a knife and a bottle of rum. If you got shot, you probably didn't die right away. You died from the gangrene that followed. And if you begged for mercy, there was none. Pain was normal. Screaming was background noise. If hunger, disease, or violence didn't get you, the gallows probably would. Piracy was a capital crime. Get caught and you were tried quickly, and hanged slowly. Many pirates were executed in front of crowds, their bodies tarred and left in iron cages by the harbor as a warning. "Here hangs the pirate," one sign read, "a thief by sea, and now a feast for the crows." Even fellow pirates avoided capture at all costs. Some lit their ships on fire and went down with them rather than face trial. Death was not just expected, it was built into the job description. So, what about the treasure? Sorry, most pirates died penniless. The loot was usually barrels of flour, sugar, cotton, not gold. And any money they did earn was spent fast. Alcohol, gambling, sex, and more alcohol. Retirement wasn't a thing. If you got old, you became a burden. If you got slow, you got left behind. The only X that marked your spot was the one where you died. So, yeah, pirates had no bosses, no taxes, no rules. But they also had no safety, no future, no mercy. Being a pirate wasn't glamorous. It was gruesome. And the only treasure most of them found was a shallow grave. If you found this story as disturbing as it is fascinating, hit like, subscribe, and explore more dark corners of history right here on History's Underbelly. The past isn't always glorious. Sometimes it's just grim.